Hi there, it's Tyler Stokes from Stokes SEO, and I wanted to thank you for taking the time to watch this analysis of your website. I hope you find it very useful, and if you have any questions at all, don't hesitate to contact me. So let's jump over to my computer and start this website audit.
So hi Robert, it's Tyler here, and I've gone ahead and just shot this over-the-shoulder video sort of outlining the discovery form that you filled in and some of the steps moving forward. So it's not a typical website audit per se, as we don't have a website that's set up yet for me to really look at and find out how we can improve. So it's more of a general overview on what we need to get started and what we can sort of need to get started moving forward with this website business. So thank you for that, and thanks for your patience in me getting this out to you. I've had a bit of a crazy week happening. So here in your discovery form, I'm going to quickly go over this. This video tends to run on a little bit, but I'm going to try and kind of jump right into it so it's not too long. But I like to shoot these videos so you can sort of have it on hand, watch it maybe a few times rather than emailing back and forth. I can kind of give you some good information that you can kind of reference when you need to. And that's sort of why I ask people to fill out these discovery forms. I can sort of reference them when I need to get some good background information about the business, where you're at and where your future goals are with it. So thank you for that, Robert. I understand, you are in this business. You've already got a business set up as a fashion photographer, so making the transition shouldn't be brand new, but I understand you've relocated here in Guelph and you want to set up a wedding and portrait type of photography business. So thank you for filling this out. And just one number that I'll touch on briefly here is some of the estimations on how many more customers you want to acquire a month, 3 to 4. Some of the numbers that I've looked at, which I'll talk about in a second, sort of goes aligned with that. So I don't think that's a crazy number. It's probably a nice conservative number, and one that you can certainly reach once you have a website that's set up, that is established, that's ranking well on Google, and attracting daily and monthly visitors. So that's good, and I understand you've got a good sort of understanding of the main terms: Guelph wedding photographer and so forth. So we'll get into that as well. The other thing that I wanted to jump over and quickly discuss before we jump into any specifics is, if you did read my discovery form, you'll see that I typically don't work with startups. So here it's a little bit different. You are a photographer, so you've got that knowledge of the business and you know how to sell your services, and I'm sure you've got a plan to sell these wedding photography services and what you'd want displayed on the website and so forth. But some startups come and they don't have a monetization plan in place, and they want to get going. They want a website that ranks, but they don't have an advertising budget. So that's really why I sort of stay away from startups. My job is really to get a website, and it's almost like digital real estate. Many people are, at the bottom of page 2, or they're on page 3, or, their visitors, potential customers, just go to Google, search for their services, and they can't find their website. So I'm like a taxi driver. I take their website and I help it get listed on the top of Google for, various searches around their services. So with a startup, you're starting on a blank slate. You don't have a website set up, so we kind of had to build all that from the ground up. And you will need, some sort of budget in place to get this rolling. So typically, some startups, they don't have any budget in place, and that's really why I don't like working with them. But with you, you certainly will. You've got another business going and you have knowledge to sell the services. So, I'm happy to kind of move forward and do this promotion, or do this video, and sort of talk about potentially working together as well. So I wanted to just kind of clarify that with you, before we kind of continue on. Okay, so moving along, now we've got that sort of out of the way. Here are some target keywords that I've come up with for the location Guelph and photographers, or photography, wedding photographer, and so forth. So as you can see with these numbers, these are just sort of an estimate that Google produces based on sort of the amount of ads that people are running. But it gives us a good sort of overall look at the market online and how many people are just searching on Google. So for Guelph photographers and Guelph wedding photographers, you can see that you're getting close to several hundred searches a month, close to 500. Now, all these people aren't going to be potential customers, but a lot of them will be. And then this doesn't take into account also portrait photos, and some people just search, wedding photographer or wedding photos and so forth. So it's not going to group every single search term, but what we can see is that there's definitely a market here. There are hundreds of searches every month that could potentially be a new client or a new customer for you. And that's just in Guelph. Again, moving forward, we can certainly expand the website to include Kitchener and Cambridge and other locations. But just speaking on that, generally, locations are set up, and you'd almost set it up as different websites entirely. Not totally different websites, but for you to go out and do promotion and rank for Guelph photographer, it almost takes a different set of promotion to then go and rank for Kitchener or Cambridge photographers. So that's something we can maybe discuss in the future. But here in Guelph, we can see that there's quite a bit of search volume, and in turn, getting a website that is highly ranked on Google can certainly get you that 3 or 4 sort of new customers every month that we've spoken about and that you mentioned in your discovery form. So if we just jump over to Google here, and I've plugged in Guelph wedding photographer as just one term, and basically you might be familiar with some of these other photographers, basically your competition here in Guelph. We've got Trina Coster, and then we've got McCormick Photography. And these are the two that I've seen come up for a lot of these searches for wedding photographer and so forth. So basically just taking a look, this is the McCormick website. They've got a nice modern designed website. It's mobile friendly, so that's good. And I'm sure you can kind of check out, and you potentially know some of these competitors a bit better than I would just by basically the searches that I've done. And then you've got Trina over here as well. So part of it is getting a nice design website, which I'll talk about. But then the other part is, getting that website found. So there's really two parts to your project, Robert. There's going to be actually setting up the website and getting it designed the way you want to sort of portray your sort of unique spin on your wedding photography services. But then you also need it to rank. So a wonderful looking website, if someone plugs in Guelph wedding photographer and you're not here on page 1, then you're really not going to get any new clientele, so to speak. So we need something that's going to attract some leads for you. So basically, I've gone ahead and just looked at McCormick Photography and TrinaCosta.com. These, again, seem to be the main competitors in terms of search rankings. And there's a tool, and again, I'm not going to get into too much detail, but basically, this is a tool that looks at the back end and really what Google sees about these different websites. And what you need to understand is that you can have a great looking website, but Google doesn't know that one website looks way better than the other. So you need to tell Google through off-site promotion and working with the website and getting it seen as an authority in this niche for it to understand that, hey, Robert Guelph Photography is a photographer in Guelph and he offers these services. So the only way to do that is through the services that I offer, and it's helping Google understand that a website should be ranked and should be found for a specific service. So you can see here that McCormick Photography, and I'm not going to get into the numbers here, but it is an established website. It's been around for a few years, and they have done quite a few good promotion work on it. If we jump over to Trina, again, this number here is significant, 115. So that means they've got 115 other websites saying, hey, Trina Costa Photography is good. It's like a point of reference. It's a thumbs up for Google. They understand that, other websites are referring this website for photography. So Google then understands that website is about photography. And again, McCormick Photography, they've got 58 other websites saying, hey, Google, this website is about wedding photography, and that's why they are ranking, on the top of Google for that term. So really, that's the challenge moving forward for us. And what you sort of need to understand is that these people have been around maybe for quite a few years. So for us to get you up to number one and being ranked as the top wedding photography business in Guelph is going to take some time. It's going to take some resources to really get there. So just wanted to make that clear. You've got a few competitors here that have some established websites that we need to kind of tackle and move above. Now, moving forward, what I can do, Robert, is create a very detailed proposal that's going to outline all the information that you need for hosting the website, the design of the website, and then all that off-site sort of promotion that I've just kind of briefly spoke about there. Now, unfortunately, this is something that takes more time just because there's no website established. I need to give you some design examples. So a proposal like that, I would charge $500 for. Now, if we do end up working together, then that proposal cost is taken off any design cost or the overall cost that we agree upon moving forward. So certainly you'll get that back, but because it's going to take a lot of research and time to set up, I will move forward and charge that to get things running, but you will sort of get that back. Now, in this proposal, I'm going to talk about where the website's going to be hosted. If we work together, there's a specific host that I use that's very reliable. They do backups, they're high in security, and everything in terms of transitioning from when I build the website and transfer ownership to you. It's certainly smooth sailing, so that will be something I'll outline. Off-site promotion. So basically in the proposal, we're going to outline all the social accounts that I would set up for you. So all your Facebook and Twitter, LinkedIn, and then something called a Google My Business account, which you might be familiar with, but that's basically one of these. So in order to rank, in this, what's called a Google Map Pack, Trina, McCormick, Tia, and so forth, these businesses get what's called a Google My Business account. So that would be something else that I would outline on how I would set that up for you. And then all the other things that are involved with doing the offsite promotion. So again, you can have a great looking website, but you need to give it the proper signals so Google understands that you offer these services and it ranks well. So that would all be outlined within this proposal. And then for the design examples, I've got a few designs that I'm going to show you here, and I'll have the links directly below this video, and then you can choose or say perhaps you're leaning more towards one or the other, and I can create a mock homepage for the business to see if you like that design. So directly below this video, you'll find 4 links to different templates that I work with. So these templates are ones that I personally work with. Now we can change the colors and the font, but these are the general sort of theme layout. So it's sort of the canvas that the website will be built upon. So your logo could be changed, the colors could be changed, but these 4 are basically the examples that I have that I work with that I feel would be good for the wedding photography niche. So I'm going to run through just quickly, briefly looking at these 4 different designs, and then again you can find those links and sort of look through them in a bit more detail for yourself, and maybe let me know which one you're sort of leaning more towards. So this first one is called photography. So you can see here it's with a theme company called Avada, and that's who I directly work with for design. So here you'd have your own logo, but you can see that it's a very nice sleek design for photography. And again, you wouldn't have these type of pictures, you'd have wedding photos, but this is just the general layout. Here you have a menu, so when you click that, you've got a nice menu there, and it's just a very sleek design. And as you scroll down, you can have your information there, and then all different sort of albums here and so forth. So a very kind of sleek, very modern type of design. The next one that I have here is just called wedding. So this is a typical wedding type of design. And again, These photos and the font and the colors can all be changed, but just the general layout would be something similar. Here you've got your menu here with all your different menu headings, and you've got some information here. So again, I'm going to let you sort of scroll through some of these designs for yourself, and you can find the links below. But I thought I'd just sort of just briefly go over some of the different homepage examples that we can potentially work with. So that one's wedding, so that's a nice one. But again, your unique style on how you're going to sell your services. Maybe one of these works better than the other. This one could work. This is a fashion website template. So again, your logo would go here, and you've got your headings here. And again, you can kind of scroll through and check out these 4 examples for yourself directly below this video. And then one other one that could work is Modern Shop. So this one's nice as well, very sleek and modern. And again, you're not going to sell these sort of products, but you would just have your own photos and your own content that we'd set up for you here. But this is another one that could potentially work in the photography and wedding niche. So Robert, I'll leave those links directly below this video, and you can check out and see which of these 4 designs you think could work. Now, these are the 4 main canvases and main sort of templates that I would be working with if we do move forward with me doing the design. So again, just as a quick recap, in terms of the photography niche and the market here, based on some of the numbers that I've looked at, there is some potential for you to reach that 3 or 4 customers, new customers per month. You do have a bit of competition, nothing crazy. It's not an extremely competitive market, but you've got some websites that are established. You've got some people here in Guelph that are established. They've got some good reviews. So it's going to take a little bit of time to get some traction and get going with that. In terms of moving forward with a potential proposal, this next proposal that I create is going to talk about everything that I would do in terms of moving forward. So where we're going to host the site. I'll give you a design example. If you can choose one of these 4 that you like, I can run through a sort of mock homepage designed for Guelph. And then I'll outline exactly what it would take in terms of my offsite promotion. So setting up your accounts, your social accounts, and maybe a rough timeline for us to really get some traction and get some movement here with that website. So with that proposal, it would be $500 moving forward, but you'd get that back if we do work together. And then if we don't work together, you can certainly take this next proposal, to someone else that you might know that does websites and say, hey, this person outlined this for me. Can we work with that? So you can take the proposal and do anything you want with it, but it's basically going to outline all the steps and prices and everything moving forward to get this project sort of up, running, and ranking. So I hope this wasn't ran on too long, Robert. I hope you found it useful. You can certainly get back to me. Let me know how you feel about moving forward with a more detailed and action step oriented proposal. So take care and look forward to speaking with you soon.